the excitement of during the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by WVU Medicine East, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center, Hagerstown Ford, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, Parsons Ford, Panhandle Dumpsters, and Smallwood and Small Insurance. Now let's send it out to the broadcast booth and join our TV10 broadcast team for tonight's coverage.
Text him. Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to the Cardinal Coliseum for another night of Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference High School Volleyball. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me behind me right now is Jim Klein. Since he's behind me, I hope he doesn't do anything because I can still see him even though I'm looking at the camera. Our producer tonight is Mr. Spencer Dupuis. Cameramen are Isaiah Horner and Donald Kinney. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. 11:30 to go until JV action. Tonight we have for you the defending state champion Musselman Appleman taking on the Spring Mills Cardinals. Let me welcome in, first time talking wise, my broadcast partner Jim Klein. Another one here at the Cardinal Coliseum. Last time we saw him, it was a tough night against the Martinsburg Bulldogs, and now they have the match of the year going up against the #1 team in the state.
Well, it's an opportunity for Spring Mills to redeem their season. I mean, they've had an up-and-down road. They're playing at home. The Spring Mills faithful hopefully will be out en masse. All Spring Mills needs to do is figure out a way to cut down on errors. They've got the size. They've got the talent. Hoping for a real good match this evening.
And that's something that I talked with Coach Wolf about, the varsity coach for Spring Mills, was those service errors, which were the biggest demise for the Cardinals against the Bulldogs. It was somewhere in the 20s. Didn't get an exact number, but it was definitely an issue and something that they keyed on in practice so that it doesn't happen again tonight, because 3 points against anybody is something that you don't want to give up, but you don't want to make it easy like that up against the #1 team in the state in Musselman. But right now, let's focus a little bit on those Applemen. They finished 25-1 overall last year, 9-1 in the EPAC. Of course, they're the defending state champions. They beat George Washington last year 3-2. Their 2 losses this year, as they're 29-2-1, came both to Spring Grove out of Pennsylvania in 2 separate tournaments. And they're on a 3-match winning streak against Hedgesville, the #3 team in the state, as well as Washington and Jefferson High Schools. And that last match was a 3-0 victory over Jefferson. And this is their tune-up for a tournament down in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Again, that's the reason, why the match on Thursday that was originally scheduled against Martinsburg has been pushed to next week, Jim.
Yeah, so if you're a Musselman fan or a Martinsburg Bulldog fan, no match on Thursday night. Musselman's getting ready to head to the beach, Hilton Head. So Thursday night action is going to be something else.
If we didn't have football, you think I could convince Mike to let us go down to Hilton Head, enjoy the beach, and broadcast some volleyball?
The mogul might even let us set up shop.
What do you think down there, Spencer? Do you approve? Maybe possibly switching some things up, go down to Hilton Head for some volleyball instead of doing football? Enjoy Hilton Head. See, Spencer's in. We'll just have to talk with Mike about it. He'll probably say no, and due to just the sponsors and everything with Martinsburg football and Shepherd football, I think would be a little disappointed in that switch. About 8:54 to go until JV action, so let's take our first 2-minute break, and then we'll be back to break down both teams JV-wise. Again, a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Back to Spring Mills High School inside the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here alongside me. Former Smithsburg head coach and three-time state champion Jim Klein. Our producer Spencer Dupuis running the A-Tem. Our cameramen are Isaiah Horner and Donald Kinney. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. JV action getting ready to start in about 6 minutes or so between Musselman and Spring Mills. Musselman right now on the court for their warm-ups and watching some of the players out there. Some people to watch out for is definitely Josephine Dever as well as Riley Franklin. Some hard-hitting outside hitters for the Lady Applemen, Jim, is what you were talking about when you were watching.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both swinging away. I like the control drill that they run during warm-ups. There's some defense involved, passing to the setter rather than a soft toss to the setter, which means that you're simulating a game-time environment, and that's what you want. You want the pass to come more realistically off the hands of the passer to the setter, so that you get a real feel in the timing for the attacker. And I agree with you, Dever and Franklin. I'm imagining that one's probably running outside, but Musselman's JV team looks very well organized and very strong.
Which is something that you would expect from the program that Coach Sean Martz has there at Musselman, being 7-time state champions under his reign. And just the program that they have, I mean, it's always the top in the state, it seems like, lately. And it trickles down to JV because that's their future. You saw it even last year. They had a very impressive JV team, and now you see some of those players on the varsity team, which is the #1 team in the state. So expect to see the same action tonight. But as Spring Mills is also warming up right now, looking at somebody like Peyton Dugan and Kalia Campbell and Ava Campbell just to definitely step up. Kalia and Peyton being those tall front team-wise for Spring Mills, and then Ava Campbell, typically the setter for Spring Mills, is somebody that you want to see step up tonight and get that offense going to make sure that the rhythm's good, because it's going to be a tough match against Musselman. We keep saying it, and it's true. Yeah. It's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be interesting to see if Spring Mills is ready for that challenge.
We have an advantage. I think the advantage is we got to see Spring Mills on Thursday night in the 5-set match. JV lost in 2. But every day, Colin, I listen to Sports Mix every day at lunchtime. That's how I spend my lunch. I listen to TV 10, watch on Facebook or YouTube, and follow along. And what I said this afternoon at lunchtime is I compared the Musselman volleyball program to that of Alabama. And the comparison is winning begets winning. Coach Martz has put together a very solid program. So in 6th and 7th grade, or maybe even younger in elementary school, these kids look up to these programs and they see a consistent perennial winner. And when it comes time to choose what fall sport they're going to play, you're more likely to get the better athlete. Not in all situations, but in many cases, you're going to get a Hannah Howard hooked on volleyball when she's in 3rd and 4th grade, rather than picking up kids who are just learning volleyball for the first time, maybe in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. And that's the difference between repeating and going 25-1 and being as prolific a head coach as Sean Martz is.
Yeah, winning's an addiction, and when it keeps happening, why wouldn't you want to join? I mean, if you can't beat them, join them is what the saying is. Obviously, you don't want to see, I guess, if you can't beat them, join them with people leaving schools, that's a bad situation. But when it comes to people already at your school, your talented athletes are going to go to the program that has that winning mentality, and that's what the Musselman volleyball team brings to the table underneath head coach Sean Martz. So 2:20 to go before we get started JV-wise. Let's take our final 2-minute break of the pregame. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
In whatever you do, it's good to go the extra mile. But when we go to Antwerp, Belgium to buy a diamond for you, we go the extra 7,982 miles, the distance from here to Antwerp. And when you see your new diamond, the sparkle in your eyes will tell us it was worth it to go the distance. Hi, I'm Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. Dave and I are leaving soon on a diamond buying trip. And here's what going the extra 7,982 miles means for you. A more beautiful diamond than you thought possible for your money. Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world. We work directly with the men and women who buy and cut the diamonds. We personally inspect thousands of diamonds to pick only the best out of each parcel. And believe me, we reject hundreds of diamonds for each one we buy. Would you like to own a diamond that will blow by other diamonds in a flash? We're ready to go the extra 7,982 miles for you. See us at Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 south of 51 in Inwood.
The Honda Civic and the Accord are uniquely stylish in their own way. But do you know what they have in common? Reliability and comfort? Sure. Available turbocharged engines? Of course. But also, the driver, having fun for no reason, except for the thrill of driving a Honda. Kelley Blue Book's 2021 Best Value Brand.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Based on 2021 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein. And before we get started for JV action, let's look at both teams' rosters, starting with the visiting Musselman Lady Applemen. You got number 3, Ashley Fox, number 5, Kelly Pritt, number 6, Haley Meisowitz, number 7, Emma Mackey, number 10, Josephine Dever, number 11, Kendall Watcher, number 14, Riley Franklin, number 15, Megan Welch, number 21, Avery Lark, and number 24, Stephanie Courtwright. As for Spring Mills, you got number 1, Jaden Junkin, number 3, Maddie McDaniel, number 4, Emma Jones, number 5, Jocelyn Anders, number 8, Ava Campbell, number 9, Kalia Campbell, number 11, Peyton Dugan, number 13, Bella Abshire, number 14, Jocelyn Dupree, number 15, Izzy Dozier, and number 18, Georgia Piltong. About ready to go for JV action between Musselman and Spring Mills. It is Musselman in the dark gray uniforms with green numerals and letters. As for Spring Mills, they're in the red uniforms with white numerals and letters. Any final thoughts key-wise before we get started, Jim?
JV action should be fundamentals. I hate seeing the ball get dumped in two. I like seeing good service, working the offense, bump set spike. Keep it fundamentally sound. We're working towards whether or not it's a spot on a varsity team or something like that, club ball. That's what you want to see. Good fundamental play, fewer service mistakes, things like that.
As you mentioned, even with the varsity level, that's going to be something to watch out for, is the service errors. That was an issue that Spring Mills had against Martinsburg, which is the main reason why they unfortunately lost in 5 sets at home, even though they definitely battled and were in position to pick up a win. So we wait for both teams to set its rotation. It looks like it'll be Musselman serving first. Back to serve for the Lady Applemen. Let me look. Is number 11, Kendall Watcher.
Overpass.
And the first point goes to Musselman off the hand of Megan Welsh, making it 1-0.
Yeah, and she cleaned that up. And no different than when you're attacking, you can't hit straight. What did she do? She went up with 2 hands, but used her right hand to sweep the ball right to left.
Watcher with another serve from the middle over to Spring Mill side. And right at the net is Fox. Free ball sent by Anders to the Musselman side.
Oh my.
Outside hitter kill goes to the libero, McDaniel, for Spring Mills. She hits it out of play. Musselman now leads 2-0.
Yeah, look at the pace, not only on the serve, but that resulted in an overpass, and which was a spike, and then another free ball that resulted in a kill.
Serve to Watcher. McDaniel hits it out into the stands again. An ace for Musselman. It's 3-0.
See, and this is where me as a coach at 3-0, I'd be looking to swing, change the serve, receive. And you can always drop a 4th player back into serve, receive. You've got a stack on the near side, far side for the cameras.
Watcher. Pass. And a free ball sent by Anders. The set. And it goes near for Junkin. Junkin just has to send another one back over to Musselman. It's going to be set in the middle and pushed over by Mackey.
That's trouble.
And a 4th hit opportunity and a bad play by Spring Mills gives the point to Musselman. It's 4-0 now.
Thought for sure coach was calling timeout. Didn't happen. And she did change the serve receive. 14 has dropped much deeper.
Watcher with another serve for Musselman. Goes
Overpass.
to Junkin. Over and just in. Another point for Musselman. It's 5-0. Keeps looking like coach will call timeout Taylor Combs, and she finally does. So let's take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Mayhem is everywhere. I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Score is 5-0. Musselman leads Spring Mills in set number 1. It is Kendall Watcher still serving for the Lady Applemen. And for JV, it is best 2 out of 3.
And this is a good mental test, getting the serve in after timeout.
Watcher to McDaniel.
Free ball.
Jones, and McDaniel has to send a free ball. Set in the middle by Mackey. To the outside, off the net by Lark.
It's a kill.
And another point for Musselman makes it 6-0.
Yeah, no, if I'm Coach Combs at that point, I might even have been talking about if you're going to send a free ball, send the free ball deep. My goodness, we cannot give them these short, easy J-stroke passes that make it, it's too easy.
Watcher to McDaniel, and she has to hit it back over, so another missed pass for
Good
Spring
decision.
Mills.
I love that decision.
The outside to Lark.
Down ball.
And a down ball error by Anders makes it 7-0 Musselman.
Also with a substitution on serve, which is something that's somewhat unusual.
Watcher waiting for her teammate to tie her shoe.
Very frustrating for me to not have the officials see that, the players see it.
Watcher serve a hard one to the outside, and it's another miss hit, this time by Jones, making it 8-0 as the ball went over the Spring Mills bench. Rough start for Spring Mills. Hasn't been able to set up its offense or create much of a volley as Watcher with another serve. And it's just in, so an ace makes it 9-0 Musselman.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say. The problem with dropping another person back into serve receive, it creates another avenue, another corridor that you need to figure out, a lane, which means more communication is required.
Watcher with the
sailed.
serve,
Good
and
decision.
this time it goes over, so a service error gives Spring Mills its first point, making it 9-1. Back to serve, it looks like, for Spring Mills will be Jaden Junkin. What were you about to say, Jim?
Yeah, it wasn't a good toss. She got underneath it, but here we go.
Junkin serve.
Great serve.
A beautiful one that curled down and it goes out. Great communication by Emma Jones.
Yes.
Yelling at her teammate Jocelyn Dupree to let it go out.
Yeah, Jones moved forward, calling the whole time. That's exactly what you want. Good communication.
9-2. Junkin with another serve, and she gets the ace. It's just, we saw that, I believe, against Martinsburg as well. She's able just to get it to die right in the middle of the court each time on the serve. I don't know if it's just the spin that she puts on it or if it's how much power she's learned, but beautiful serve makes it 9-3.
Well, it came right through the set stack. She called a rotation. She left too soon.
Another point for Spring Mills, and it's 9-4 now. So the Cardinals trying to create a run of their own. 5-point lead for Musselman.
And that might have been an error. 11 should be at the 1.
We wait for Mo. The official.
Oh, the substitute. The substitute who went to the bench, 15. Who subbed for whom? He's saying that one of the players should move to the outside. And I'm guessing it's... Who is
so? If the official has it incorrect, would they go back?
Well, I don't even have a 17 on the JV roster, and our 17 is the middle right now.
I don't see one as well.
So
look to see if there's one on the Varsity roster that might have been switched. I have that as Emma Kurnos, but she's definitely a varsity player, being a senior. I remember her starting, so I don't know who 17 is for JV.
Well, they adjusted the score down.
It went back down to 9-3.
Even more confusing.
So I guess the point was taken off. Set behind, off the net, beautiful save.
Free ball.
And a free ball sent by McDaniel.
Oh my!
And miscommunication gives the point to Spring Mills.
That's unfortunate. That's definitely Mackey's ball. The front row's design in the free ball and transition is to get back for their approach. Both the outside hitters should be moving off the court. The defense should be stepping forward and making the play on that.
Junkin, serve at the net. A free ball from Mackey. Jones, Junkin. A free ball sent by Spring Mills.
Yeah, can't give free for free against a good team. And that's what happens.
A beautiful kill by Lark. Gets the serve back on Musselman's side, making it 10-4.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations. When you repay a free ball with a free ball, you're liable to get one shoved down your throat. And, man, Lark she wailed it.
Lark now back to serve for Musselman, and it's off the net, making it 10-5. A second service error for Musselman in set number 1. Sub entering for Spring Mills is Izzy Dozier. She'll grab the ball and go back to serve for the Cardinals, who trail by 5. Dozier's serve goes towards Meisowitz.
Through the block. Right through the block.
Point, making it 11-5. Trying to see who it was. I believe that was Fox getting the kill for Musselman.
Yeah, depending on your defensive philosophy, the middle sets the block. So the middle, their job is to get their outside arm on the nose of the hitter, and then your outside blocker stops that.
Meisowitz gets an ace off the net, making it 12-5 Musselman. We wait for the ball to get back for Meisowitz, the libero. Our serve goes back to McDaniel. McDaniel mishits it and goes all the way back. Dozier tries to run for it, misses, making it 13-5.
A lot less energy it feels this evening compared to Thursday night. Is it just me, Colin?
Definitely, especially with the crowd, they had a couple of the football players who stuck around to watch after their dinner on Thursday, and since they don't have a dinner today because there's no game tomorrow, since it's Tuesday, they're not here, and it's definitely something that's making the Cardinal Coliseum quiet.
Very quiet. Both teams, though, there's not a lot of chatter.
Campbell sends a free ball to Musselman. Outside spike to Dozier. McDaniel. And a free ball sent by Junkin. Meisowitz.
Oh, great the way her left
Beautiful set
Yes.
by Watcher for the outside hitter in Fox. Getting the kill, making it 14-5 Musselman.
Yeah, the execution, she's setting the ball to the outside, and her left hip comes through. That's what creates the momentum to be able to push the ball to the net when the setter is running away from the net.
Serve to Jones. Set over the net by Junkin. Ball back to Spring Mills. Jones, and a free ball by McDaniel.
All those free balls are within the first 15 feet.
Franklin to McDaniel. Off the net, Franklin again gets the point, making it 15-5 Musselman.
Yeah, Franklin looked a little bit early on the first approach. She had to actually wait, and then just happened to be in the right position for the overpass. Worked out.
Another serve by Meisowitz.
It's in.
McDaniel lets it go by. It's in. 16-5 Musselman leads now. An 11-point lead in set number 1 of JV action for the Lady Applemen. Will be another serve by Meisowitz. Jones keeps it alive on Spring Mill side. Free ball sent by Campbell. The kill from Courtright over and out of play. It's now 16-6, so Spring Mills will get to serve. McDaniel will be the one to do it.
Yeah, Courtright might have been a little early. She swung, hit the ball up. So she doesn't get the stat there, just a hitting error.
McDaniel serves it off
costly.
the net. 17-6 now. Both teams with service errors tonight. I believe it's 2 each now. Serve from Musselman. A hard one by Fox. Gets the ace. It's 18-6. Bad first pass by Dozier has made Spring Mills have to struggle to set up its offense. Fox will serve again. 12-point lead for Musselman. And it is over and out. Spring Mills gets another point off a service error. And it's 18-7. Another substitute exiting for Spring Mills is Ava Campbell. Entering is Bella Abshire. Abshire serving. Over the net to Musselman. Courtright with the spike towards the middle. McDaniel steps forward. Keeps it alive. Jones sends it to the back line of Musselman. Franklin.
Good spot.
Gets the point for the Applemen, making it 19-7. Franklin hit it directly at, looks like, I believe it was Abshire. It just went off the palm of her hand and straight down.
Well, Coach Combs for Spring Mills used to be the head coach here a couple years ago. So we know that she brings talent and experience, from the bench. So
Junkin with it. Free ball sent by Dugan. Backline spike goes over and out, and you can tell that Meisowitz knew as soon as it went off her hand that she mishit it. It's 19-8.
But it's good to see the Coach Combs. She's still providing instruction. They're down 11, got a chance to, to knock it down to 10 here. But she's working hard, and that's what you want to see. It's learning experience. That's what JV is all about.
Jones on to serve for Spring Mills. Over the net.
Great serve.
Back at Welch. Excuse me, Mackey. At the line, or at the net is Franklin. Running into each other was Dugan and Jones. Dugan hit it first, so Jones had to try to hit it through her and just was unable to do so. It's 20-8 now, Musselman. Serving As Franklin goes to the near side on the camera.
Oh, no. Didn't make it.
Was very close to going over the net. It was so high up that Spring Mills was unable to see, and a timeout will be called. It's 21-8 Musselman. 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Ollie's VIP Northside is the best local spot to catch all of your favorite high school, college, and pro sports, or to hang out with friends. Ollie's has a great beer and cocktail menu, along with a food menu that will blow you away. Ollie's offers multiple TVs to watch the game of your choice from anywhere at the bar, or their outdoor patio with cornhole and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP Northside. We'll see you for the game.
Franklin for Musselman serves it and gets the ace as it goes off the wrists of Jaden Junkin. 22-8 now is the score. Musselman on top of Spring Mills.
Yeah, it's just the mark of a good program. Coming off of a timeout over and over and over again. When you see a team that's able to score off a timeout.
Franklin to McDaniel. Daniel with the pass into the air. Dugan runs up, hits it off the net, and it drops in front of Junkin. Another point for Musselman. It's 23-8. Franklin continues to serve. Goes short, and Jones hits it out of play. Keeping it alive was Junkin, but the final hit by Jones goes over to where Musselman's varsity team sitting in the bleachers. It's now set point for the Lady Applemen, 24-8.
Yeah, we used to run a ball chase drill where you would chase the shank pass. The entire team should be following the shank pass.
Daniel Koss sends the free ball. Mackey set up to the opposite side. The kill by Courtwright off the wrists of Abshire and out of play. And that gives Musselman a 25-8 victory in set number 1. A 1-minute break, and then we'll be back for set number 2. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. A hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $9.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein. Our producer down below us is Spencer Dupuis. Our cameramen for this evening are Isaiah Horner and Donald Kinney. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Getting ready for set number 2 after Musselman wins set 1 25-8. It was a very impressive one. Musselman just had everything clicking. Had a couple of service errors, but didn't matter as Spring Mills responded with some of their own, and that's why Musselman won by 17 there in the set, Jim.
Yeah, very good execution. Well, you can't give teams like Musselman at any level a free ball, and if you do, you have to be prepared to play really good defense because they're going to hit the ball back at you 2 or 3 times harder than you gave it to them, and that's what happens. So if I'm Coach Combs, I'm probably preaching, we've got to get a bump set spike. If we can't get a spike, we need to look for deep corners because then maybe we can force Musselman to give us the ball back free. Another chance to set up the offense.
Other EPAC match going on this evening. You have Martinsburg at Hedgesville. The JV and freshmen there going on simultaneously, and it'll be varsity later on. We'll try to see if we, by chance, can get any scores from that one, but let's get ready for the set number 2 between Musselman and Spring Mills here at Spring Mills High School. Both teams go on the court and set up their respected rotations, and the official down below, Mr. Mel, will make sure everybody is lined up. Again, for those of you new to high school volleyball, it is best 2 out of 3 for JV action and best 3 out of 5 for varsity action. So all Musselman needs to do is win one more set and they get the victory. Junkin on to serve first for Spring Mills.
Gosh, what a great pass.
And a hit off the net. Point goes to Spring Mills, 1-0, as it was Dever on the outside coming forward.
Yeah,
it almost looked like that was a backline hitter at the net.
I don't know if she was late or the set was just low. That becomes the timing issue.
Free ball sent by Fox. And Spring Mills will have to respond with a free ball that trickles down off the net by McDaniel. It's tied up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, for me, if the ball was above the net, it's always the hitter's fault. The hitter needs to speed up the approach to be able to put the ball in play. And even if they're so late that the ball's below the net, you can still tip or fist, whatever you need. We used to call it shark.
Served by Watcher. Junkin with the set to the opposite side for Campbell.
Oh, my.
Block off the head of Kalaya Campbell. 2-1 Musselman now. She was at the right place.
That's a penetration issue. When you're reaching above the net, you have to press forward at contact. Hands become a wet rag.
Watcher McDaniel. A pass in front of Campbell, who swings and misses. Another point for Musselman makes it 3-1. Watcher will serve again. They're hit over to the back line. Jones, Junkin, and Watcher. Another swing and the miss makes it 4-1 Musselman. Excuse me, Campbell. Had Watcher in my head because she's serving now. So Watcher serve. This time it goes past Ava Campbell. Another point for Musselman makes it 5-1.
Yeah, and Campbell could drop back deeper into the serve-receive.
Watcher serves it to the back line at Jones. McDaniel up for Campbell and sends a free ball to Meisowitz.
Off block.
Beautiful save, and a free ball goes off the net. And I guess they called 4 hits anyway, so it didn't matter, making it 6-1 Musselman. Kendall Watcher, our serve for Musselman, goes to the Spring Mill side. Ball into the air and running from the front line is Junkin. A free ball set by Campbell to Musselman. Tipping it to her left and getting the point is number 15 for the Appleman, Welch. Makes it 7-1. Impressive play by Miss Megan Welch. Gives Musselman a 6-point lead. Watcher directly to the back line, middle spot. Can't see who exactly that is. I believe it's Jones. Ace Musselman. It's 8-1 now. Watcher to
Good
Campbell.
Pass.
Set by Junkin back to Campbell, and she just has to send it to the back line of Musselman, and a miss hit by Ashley Fox gives Spring Mills a point, making it 8-2.
A little bit of a mishandle. Everybody's having a good laugh.
Substitute enters for Spring Mills. Izzy Dozier now on to serve. Fresh off the bench, and she hits it over the net to the back line for Mackey.
And I don't know, I thought that there was a net on the way up. I thought that Campbell may have.
So Watcher got the point for Musselman, making it 9-2.
You almost teach your middles when you're moving at the net to have your hands above your waist, because it's the action of bringing your hand from your waist to your chest is what catches the net. So if your hands are already up.
Dever serves it off the net. Another service error for Musselman. Makes it 9-3. Still lead. Spring Mills will serve. It will be Maddie McDaniel. Daniel.
Great serve.
Serves it to Meisowitz. Beautiful set by Fox.
Deep corner.
And the kill successful by Courtright makes it 10-3.
Yeah, great swing. Definitely results in a kill. And that's the situation. You know, the deep corners are so hard to defend with any kind of ball. And that's why I'd like to see these free balls that Spring Mills is sending to go to those deep corners make it difficult on Musselman.
Now serving is Welch. Her serve goes to Ava Campbell, and at the net, missing it is Junkin. It's 11-3 now. Musselman leads by 8.
Well, Junkin is a back row player, so she would have played the ball above the net and could have resulted in a back row attack. So,
Welsh to McDaniel. Franklin, Campbell, Junkin. The free ball sent by Jones. Has a weird spin to it, but recovering it is Welch. And a point by Fox makes it 12-13 Musselman. Front line right now for the Lady Applemen, more focusing on just placement of their spikes rather than power. So far it's been successful, and a free ball that goes out near Musselman's bench makes it 13-3. Be a serve for Welch again. From the middle of the court, on the back in the service area, Junkin, Campbell, to Welch, running forward at the net, and not getting there is Watcher and Fox. It's 13-4 now. Spring Mills back to serve with Ava Campbell.
Yeah, it's just so unusual. Everyone either had their feet on or in front of the 10 line in that situation, and the front row's backing up.
Campbell to Meisowitz. Set into the air by Watcher.
Good swing.
Getting the point is Courtright. It's 14-4 now, Musselman. And Fox will serve. Ashley Fox takes a couple steps to start. Sends it at Dozier. Gets the ace. Makes it 15-4 Musselman.
Yeah, dropping so fast. But again, you know, you could swing the other way, or you could drop your setter back into serve receive in that situation.
Fox towards the middle at McDaniel, and McDaniel's hit goes right back over. Set by Fox. Spike by Watcher, back over the net
good play.
To Spring Mills. Junkin to Jones for a free ball. Musselman, Meisowitz. Set by Fox to the opposite side for Courtright.
That's in.
Is it in? Yes. Yeah. Point Musselman at 16-4. Beautiful kill by Stephanie Courtright, the outside hitter right now, getting her rhythm going. Fox with another serve as Musselman leads by 12. Nope. Fox's serve goes out. Point Spring Mills at 16-5. Izzy Dozier exits. Entering is Jocelyn Dupree. Emma Jones back to serve.
Jones has a good serve.
Jones, a hard one.
Just a rocket.
Right at Meisowitz, and she was 100% not ready for it. As you watch her, gets the ace for Spring Mills, makes it 16-6.
Yeah, that's a rocket serve. It's right through a lane. Very difficult to play.
Let's see if Jones can do it again. This one a little bit off of it, but Courtright still unable to handle it. Another ace for Spring Mills at 16-7.
Yeah, and again, serving right to left from the server side. There's a stack with the setter for Musselman running around. It makes it more difficult.
Jones hits this one off the bottom of the net. Gives the point to Musselman, making it 17-7. Avery Lark will enter as well as Emma Mackey for Musselman. And Mackey will serve. Mackey serve. Goes to McDaniel. Junkin calls off Campbell, and a free ball sent over by Spring Mills to Musselman. Lark to Campbell. McDaniel. And another free ball sent by Dugan. Set by Fox for Lark.
Nice pace.
And it's high over the net, out of play. Point Musselman makes it 18-7.
Yeah, I really like that medium height set. I mean, that's what we strive to run. We try to increase the pace of play. It takes more time, than the defense has to move so much faster.
McDaniel passes it over, and a hit by Dugan, diving by Meisowitz.
Oh, I'm not sure. What's
point Spring Mills, and it looks like they called one of the Musselman attackers in the net.
Yeah, Watcher.
18-8.
He called Watcher, but I'm telling you, I was focused on that play at the net, and I did not see the net move. So clearly, he got something that I didn't.
Peyton Dugan will now serve for Spring Mills, who trails Musselman by 10. And a service error makes it 19-8, so it's an 11-point lead now. We wait for more substitutes to come on for Musselman, as Riley Franklin will enter and serve.
Well, up 11, that's the thing to do. Work the bench, get some other players in.
Franklin serve.
Good serve.
Gets the ace, as swinging and mishitting it is Anders. It's 20-8 now, so 5 more points needed for Musselman to make quick work of Spring Mills and end the JV match. Franklin off the net. Spring Mills gets the point. It's 20-9 now. Let's see if the Cardinals can start a little bit of a comeback, as it'll be Junkin to serve. We've seen that she gets a little bit of a drop as soon as it gets to the back line. This time it doesn't do it as much. Lark on the outside, off the block. Junkin hits it high. Jones running towards the bench. Can't get there. Another point for Musselman. Makes it 21-9. Musselman to serve.
Watcher has the ability to run a couple.
Watcher serves it to Dugan, and Dugan hits it over towards the bleachers, making it 22-9. So Musselman 3 points away from victory now. We Kendall Watcher to serve again. Impressive night so far for her back at the serving spot. To Dugan. Jones passes it over the net and almost got it by Lark.
This is a great save. Oh, my
Lark sends
goodness,
a free
again
ball.
and free.
Daniel to Meisowitz. Lark up, and a quick hit over by Watcher, so Spring Mills has the opportunity to capitalize, and Dugan just pushes it back to the opposite side.
Reach.
Lark off the block.
Yeah.
Almost gets a pancake from Jaden Junkin to keep it alive for Spring Mills, but it hit the court. It's now 23-9.
Yeah, she gets credit for a kill for that. It's a tip kill. It's stat goes in the book. That's the way it plays. She found the weak spot in the defense. Good rally, both teams.
So Watcher with the serve to Dugan. It's going to go over and out. It's now game point opportunity for Watcher and the Musselman Lady Applemen. 24-9 is the score. Watcher has the opportunity to wrap it up. Her serve. The back line of Spring Mills.
Set.
And right in front of Kalaya Campbell. 25-9 will be the final. Musselman picks up the victory in set number 2 as well, and wins 2-0 in JV play. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we will be back for the post-game show for JV action. Again, a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV 10.
Mark your calendar for October 15th, 16th, and 17th and plan to join us for the 42nd Annual Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. Modified from its traditional schedule, this year's Apple Harvest Festival will feature many exciting family-friendly outdoor events for the entire community to enjoy. The Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival, sponsored by BCT, invites you to like us on Facebook and follow along for all the details of this year's 3-day event. MSAHF.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
When you've been in a wreck, you're hurting, you're confused, the insurance company's calling you.
Insurance companies are not your friend. They have a duty to their shareholders, not to you. That's why you need to call us to make sure that you are maximizing what you are entitled to.
We've recovered over $100 million for our clients. Every case is different, no result is guaranteed. But one thing's for sure, we'll treat you like family.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein, Spencer Dupuis down below. Our cameramen are Donald Kinney and Isaiah Horner. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. JV action just concluded, and Musselman wins set number 1 25-8 and set number 2 25-9 to pick up the victory over the Spring Mills Cardinals. And Jim, it was definitely a struggle for Spring Mills, a quiet atmosphere, so really no energy to feed off of for anybody here.
Yeah, and so it's difficult to develop confidence. You know, you've got the first component of winning, victory is belief. And when you're behind from the very beginning, the way that Watcher went back and served 3 or 4 at a time in both sets, and then obviously finishing the second set, immediately Spring Mills ends up on their heels. And there were no sparks. It's not like Spring Mills had a big block or a big swing that would do something to generate some crowd noise. And it kind of felt like there were a couple times where the down ref and the benches were kind of looking back at us because we're talking louder than the teams themselves, because it just seemed like Musselman was in the driver's seat from beginning to end.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing if you're a Spring Mills fan. I don't know how the freshman match is going on across from us there in the auxiliary gym, but as you can see right now, Musselman already out there warming up, still waiting for Spring Mills to take the court for varsity action. Let's look, as it is the #1 team in the state in the Musselman-Appleman, taking on an EPAC opponent, Spring Mills, who's trying to pull off a big upset tonight. And before we wrap up the JV post-game, don't want to give away too much for the pregame varsity-wise, but what are some key things that you think that Spring Mills will need to do to battle and maybe even pull off a big win tonight against Musselman?
Well, right off the bat, they've got to do something to generate some type of, whether or not it's noise, artificially created excitement. They have to come onto this court feeling like they have a chance against the juggernaut. David versus the perennial Goliath. They've got to believe that they've got a chance to compete in this gym this evening.
And that's something that is going to be tough, especially if there's no energy to feed off of. It still looks like it's not as big of a crowd as we saw Thursday against Martinsburg. And that one went 5 sets. Maybe we'll see something like that tonight. It'd be fun. I'm hoping for it. It's always fun in EPAC volleyball. You never know what's going to happen. And let's get ready for varsity action right now and take a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for the pregame show. Again, a 5-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Hi, my name's Corey, and I'm here at Orsini's in beautiful Martinsburg, West Virginia. We no longer specialize in only appliances. We have kitchen design, countertops, cabinets, flooring, and even a new 1,200 square foot sleep studio with brands such as Stearns & Foster, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic. 304-267-7251, 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. We price match the big box stores, and we give back to our local community.
Orsini's.com.
Home helpers of the Eastern Panhandle, making life easier for you, your family, and especially your loved ones that need their care. They are locally owned and searching for smiling faces to hire so that your loved one can stay in their home where they are the happiest. Call 304-433-8000 or visit homehelpershomecare.com/panhandle, or you can visit them at 3192 Winchester Avenue right here in Martinsburg. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Youth Wrestling is back in Martinsburg. Martinsburg Mat Club is excited to announce we are opening registration on Monday and Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Main Street Athletics Facility located at 303 West Main Street in Hedgesville. Registration is open to athletes between the ages 6 to 14 years old. More information can be found by following/contacting us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Martinsburg-Mat-Club.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
This is Matt Miller, along with my wife, Dale.
As homeowners, we've been through the mortgage process several times, and each time we went to Mark and Cheryl Savitt at the Mortgage Center.
They treat you like family with personal one-on-one service, walking with you through the process from application to settlement.
Plus, low interest rates and closing costs.
The Mortgage Center is on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Phone 304-267-9040.
Or online at mortgagefinancing.com.
NMLS number 237527, equal housing lender.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein, our producer Spencer Dupuis. Our cameramen are Isaiah Horner and Donald Kinney, back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Getting ready for varsity volleyball action between the visiting Musselman Lady Applemen and the home team is the Spring Mills Cardinals. Let's look right now at the number one team in the state, the Musselman Applemen. They come into today with 29 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. They are 6-0 in conference play, Jim. Their head coach, Sean Martz. They're the defending state champions with a 25-1 overall record from last year and a 9-1 conference record. This year, their 2 losses are both from Spring Grove in Pennsylvania. They're on a 3-match winning streak, all 3 in the EPAC, Hedgesville, Washington, and Jefferson. Some key players to watch for: Hannah Howard, Madigan Faircloth, Sadie Wright, Caroline Shipley, Emma Kurnos, and Isabella Hutzler. Definitely they're big 5 and 6 players that looking to see tonight from the seniors and juniors a dominant performance from that number one team in the state.
Absolutely, and I think Spring Mills they actually kind of started off their warm-ups the way that I would have hoped that they would start them off. They turned the volume up on their playlist like as loud as it could go. I actually put my headphones on to try to dim some of that loud music. It was so quiet during the JV match. They needed some artificial excitement here to start the varsity match. The first step to winning is you got to believe. So whatever it is you got to do, chug a little Red Bull. Don't do that, kids at home. But do something to get a little bit fired up, ready to play against the defending state champions, undefeated in the EPAC. Spring Mills has got to be fired up for this match tonight.
Apologize right now for those of you that are seeing a little bit of the camera issues on. We're not actually falling. It's just the camera right now that's falling. So hopefully we can get that fixed so that you can see Jim and I's face, even though you probably don't want to. I don't know.
No, I've got a face made for radio, brother. You don't need to see my
something
face.
Something that Mike always likes, so we're going to try to get that fixed for you.
That's
Mr.
okay,
Marby.
Mogul, you just want to see that TV 10 logo on my man chest. You don't want to see my face on this camera. We'd rather see these athletes warming up, getting ready to show us what state championship caliber volleyball looks like here in the Eastern Panhandle, the hub of volleyball in the state of almost heaven, West Virginia.
Let's now look at the Spring Mills Cardinals, as we already talked a little bit about the defending state champion Musselman Applemen. Coached by first-year head coach Haley Wolf. Finished last year at 16-5 overall, 9-3 in the EPAC. Right now they're 3-6 overall, 1-5 in the EPAC. In that last match for Spring Mills, we saw on Thursday it was a rough loss, 3-2 against the Musselman Applemen. And some key players to watch out for is Ann Ofuebu, Samantha Stevens, Cora Shaw, Alyssa Ryder, and Ariana Parsley. All the height for Spring Mills they need to use to their advantage to give Musselman a battle, because they definitely have that height advantage. It's just whether or not they can get the successful blocks and be able to possibly give Hannah Howard as well as a couple of those other Musselman Lady Applemen some trouble up front.
Well, Judge Stevens' daughter, just appointed by Governor Justice to the Circuit Court here in the Eastern Panhandle, Samantha Stevens, big left-hander. She has got to have a good match for Spring Mills to prevail, and I mean that from a couple different standpoints. First off, she's going to have Hannah Howard swinging right in front of her. Stevens has the ability, the height, the wingspan to be able to disrupt Hannah the Hammer Howard, and that's what we need to see if you're going to try and slow down the offense of the Musselman Applemen Lady Volleyball team.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's why they're the number one team in the state. Let's look at the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference standings, and on top of it, of course, is the Musselman Applemen. As I said, they're 29-2-1 overall, 6-0 in the EPAC. Right behind them, the number 3 team in the state being the Hedgesville Eagles. They're 8-1 in the conference, 23-3-2 overall. And third is Martinsburg. They're 7-6 overall, 5-3 in the EPAC. Spring Mills is in fourth at 1-5 in the conference and 3-6 overall. Washington right behind them, tied conference record-wise at 1-5. They're also 1-5 overall. To round things out is Jefferson at 0-8 overall and 0-6 in the conference. So number 1 versus number 4 in the EPAC, but we always say it, Jim, any given team can win on any given night in the EPAC. We've seen back-to-back 5-set matches in the games that we've broadcast. Maybe we'll see another one tonight, but if that's the case, Spring Mills needs to be absolutely perfect. And against Martinsburg, the biggest struggle was that service error.
They've got to press Musselman to be able to disrupt their offensive style. So you're right. Perfection, difficult, very difficult to obtain. However, when they make mistakes, they've got to make smart mistakes, not giving up points after timeouts. If you're going to send a free ball, send it deep or send it right at the setter's position, hoping to disrupt the offense. Making someone other than the setter put their hand on the ball might make it more difficult to generate those big swings.
Let's take a 2-minute break, and then we will be back to give you more of the pregame show for varsity action between Musselman and Spring Mills. Again, a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein, our producer Spencer Dupuis, our cameraman are Donald Kinney and Isaiah Horner. Back in the studio is Nick Verzolini. 14 minutes to go until varsity action between the Musselman Lady Applemen and Spring Mills Lady Cardinals. Both teams on the court right now doing their warm-ups, and this is actually the second time that we get to see on TV10 this season the defending state champion Musselman Applemen. The last time we saw them was there at Musselman High School, and inside the field house there, it was a fun one. They absolutely dominated one 3-0 over Martinsburg. They're looking to do the same tonight against Spring Mills. Well, we've been saying it's going to be a battle up front. The height of Spring Mills can possibly be a struggle, and that's what they want against Musselman. But Musselman obviously wants to use their power and experience to come away and continue its dominant reign of terror in the EPAC in the state of West Virginia, Jim.
Yeah, and it goes even beyond. Just for fun today, I looked up where Musselman ranks in the United States. Now, Max Preps, they rank the top 780 teams. I have no idea how they came up with that number. Musselman right now in the country is ranked 169th. Now, that might sound like, oh, that's not real good, but when you think about it, there's probably 2 or 3 times the number of total teams in the country. They're only ranking the top 780. 169 out of 2,300, 1,500 to 2,300 teams. Musselman is pretty dang good, Doc.
That's why you always see them winning their tournaments. Let's now hear a little bit about that. I sat down with Musselman's head coach, Sean Martz, earlier for an interview, and let's listen to it right now. Okay, an EPAC match tonight, Coach, before you get to go for a tournament. A lot of tournaments so far this year for you guys. Is that typically what you guys get to do? And just last year due to COVID, it was something that you didn't get to do? Or is it something that you're just trying to pick up to get more exposure for the team?
Yeah, typically we do play in 4 to 5 tournaments and a good many out of state. So, and then last year, obviously, we couldn't go to any tournaments because of COVID, so that's kind of what happened last year. But, yeah, this is pretty typical for a normal season for us.
Alrighty, with the game tonight against Spring Mills, you look at it just with a conference opponent? Are you looking at it as a tune-up for the tournament games, which typically have more of a challenge, or how do you view each night when it comes to the EPAC?
Well, yeah, we're just trying to shore up a few areas in our game to get ready for this weekend. I really think locally it's more about what we do on our side and not so much worrying about our opponents. We've been working on a few things. We're trying to speed up our offense a little bit. We're going to play some bigger teams down in South Carolina. We want to try to free our pin hitters up for some better swings on the outside. So we're just trying to work on some certain things in our game.
So since it's toward the end of the season, you got playoffs and everything coming up, is the team at the point that you wanted it to be so far this season? Or are there still some things that you're working on, and if so, what are they?
Well, there's always room for improvement. We had a fantastic September. We won 2 of our big tournaments and came in top 2 or 3 in the other 2. We only lost twice into the same team twice in both tournaments. So yeah, I'm hoping we didn't peak too early. We had a few not so great games locally. We managed to win, but we didn't play great. So we're hoping to get back sharp for this final stretch. Even not counting this tournament, we have a pretty tough stretch with Hedgesville and Smithsburg in the same week, and then Morgantown and Shady Springs, which are both top 5 teams, come to our place on the 30th that same week. So we have a pretty tough stretch to really get back battle tested before the postseason.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, that was Coach Sean Martz with Musselman, and let's now hear from the head coach of the Spring Mills Lady Cardinals, Miss Haley Wolf. Okay, Coach, last time against Martinsburg, a rough one, and now you get to go up against Musselman, top team in the state. I know it's going to be tough, but what can the team do, I guess, positive West tonight to make it a good battle?
It's really important that we get our serves in tonight and just staying aggressive, keep swinging, don't let up, and especially stay in a positive mindset no matter what happens.
Now, speaking of the positive mindset, has it been that way in practice, or is it still a different vibe going on right now? How's the team feeling, both game-wise and mentally, from what you've seen?
From what I've seen, we are taking it almost like breaking it down. Like, we'll focus on a skill that we feel like that we need to work on at practice, and then we look at the team who we're playing next and we see what we need to work on to prepare us for that game. I feel like breaking it down, it's gotten them more focused, and I feel like that we're building skill that way, and they're making great progress, and from day one of this practice to now, I couldn't be happier with them.
How can you use your team's height to the advantage against Musselman tonight with that front line?
Throw up a block any chance we get, and I tell them, keep swinging. Aggression is key, and even if you get blocked, keep swinging again.
What are some of those key things that you've been focusing on this week in practice to tune up for this match tonight?
blocking, serving, keeping moving on defense. Musselman's a fast team. They're a very fast team. They're a very skilled team, and we just have to keep staying on our toes and be ready to pick up anything.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Again, that was Coach Haley Wolf with the Spring Mills Lady Cardinals, and we've said it here on the pregame show as well, Jim. It's going to be blocking and that serve-receive to keep Spring Mills in this one.
Yeah, and I like what she said, a focus on blocking. I would have Kane and Ryder, the other middle, I'd have them blocking on every play. I would not want Musselman to send one free ball or have any situation where I don't have a middle at the net trying to clean up any kind of free ball that you can get your hand on or any type of attack. Anything to slow Musselman and not allow them to have easy setup offensive sets. Don't let them run those plays. Don't let them run those slides. Well, how do you stop a slide? You got to get the ball out of the libero's hands. You got to make sure that they're on their heels, not getting great passes, making it more difficult for the setter and ultimately for the hitter to get the big swing.
And since we had that Martinsburg Spring Mills match Thursday, talk a little bit about Ofuebu's performance for Spring Mills, and she needs to do that same exact thing tonight with her spikes. She placed them perfectly, it seemed like, almost every single time, and to give Musselman a challenge, she's going to need to do that tonight as well, Jim.
Yeah, well, Ofuebu, she has the ability to hit from anywhere. If you listen to Sports Mix Monday through Friday at 12 noon right here on TV 10, then you would have had a chance today to hear me say Ofuebu, because she can create offense from the 10-foot line or even from mid-court was what happened against Martinsburg. Situations where it was not a great pass, the setter had to send the ball up into the air, 10, 15 feet off the net. She's still taking big swings that resulted in kill opportunities. And that's what you're going to have to do against Musselman. If you repeat that scenario that you saw last Thursday, where you reward a free ball with the free ball, you are running the risk of putting your back row in peril because Musselman is going to swing away.
Yeah, and of course, those people that might swing away, the outside hitter and the hammer, Hannah Howard, somebody that we enjoyed watching last year. You also got the Riley Franklin in the middle, Sadie Wright as well as Kaylee Chrisman and Miss Ava Dunnigan. Emma Kurnos, definitely a setter that's going to need to have a big night for Musselman, making sure those passes are perfect. As right now we're watching the warm-ups, and the first two that I saw looked like it might have been a little bit of a timing issue. Let's see what happens with the spikes and kill possibility for the Appleman. I keep watching. It's a lot of timing issues. So you think that's what we're going to have tonight, or you think Musselman's going to come out and be that number one team in the state that we expect them to be?
Well, we ran the shoots, we ran the slides, and what we would do is we also ran a vanilla offense base. When you run into a situation where the timing isn't there, you can always go vanilla, and you can go back to your 1s, 3s, 5s, in those type situations. So I wouldn't be worried about the first couple swings in warm-ups. Actually, if I were Spring Mills, you know what I would be doing? I would not be having my team watch Musselman warm up. I would be running some type of defense or ball control drill, especially something that's up-tempo, fast-paced. Get into the music. Do something to, what kind of instruction are you really giving your team 4 minutes before the match starts? What you got to do is you got to look for that emotional edge right now. Have a little fun. Play a game. Do something. Get those juices flowing.
Let's take another 2-minute break. And when we come back, we'll have our final keys to the game, as well as look at both teams' rosters for this varsity volleyball match between Musselman and Spring Mills. Again, a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV 10.
Youth Wrestling is back in Martinsburg. Martinsburg Mat Club is excited to announce we are opening registration on Monday and Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Main Street Athletics Facility located at 303 West Main Street in Hedgesville. Registration is open to athletes between the ages 6 to 14 years old. More information can be found by following/contacting us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Martinsburg-Mat-Club.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case. I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg has a brand new list of daily specials. Monday, stop on in for burger night or enjoy a nice juicy steak every Tuesday and Wednesday. The Palace Lounge also offers freshly steamed shrimp Thursdays and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Sunday is all-day breakfast and there are drink specials daily too. So come enjoy the Palace Lounge. You can find them on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard.
The Honda Civic and the Accord are uniquely stylish in their own way. But do you know what they have in common? Reliability and comfort? Sure. Available turbocharged engines? Of course. But also, the driver, having fun for no reason, except for the thrill of driving a Honda. Kelley Blue Book's 2021 Best Value Brand.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Based on 2021 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein. We have Spencer Dupuis, Donald Kinney, and Isaiah Horner on our crew. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Let's look at both teams' rosters, starting with the visiting Musselman Lady Appleman. You got number 2, Kaylee Weatherholtz. Number 3, Isabella Hutzler. Number 4, Hannah Howard. Number 5, Addison Walker. Number 6, Ashley Fox. Number 7, Addie Miller. Number 8, Ada McCoy. Number 9, Madigan Faircloth. Number 10, Riley Franklin. Number 11, Sadie Wright. Number 14, Caroline Shipley. Number 17, Emma Kurnos. Number 21, Kaylee Chrisman. Number 24, Avery Lark. Number 25, Ava Dunnigan. As for the Spring Mills Lady Cardinals, you have number 1, Gracie Kane. Number 4, Maddie McDaniel. Number 7, Jaden Junkin. Number 9, Isabel Bolliard. Number 11, Ann Ofuebu. Number 12, Peyton Dugan. Number 13, Samantha Stevens. Number 14, Cora Shaw. Number 16, Alyssa Ryder. Number 17, Ariana Parsley. Number 8, Liz Greenfield. All right, any keys to the game, Jim, for both sides?
Well, I think Musselman needs to focus on doing what they do. They run their offense. They like to go up-tempo. They're a very precision run team. Spring Mills, the one thing that I didn't really care for is the team stood around and watched Musselman. And I think about it. When in sports do you stand around and expect to win? So, to me, warm-ups is designed to get warmed up. So if you're standing around watching the other team, it tends to defeat the purpose. I really don't like that at all. They've got to put the ball in play. They can't make a bunch of service mistakes. And they've got to focus on running some kind of offense instead of giving free balls. Keys to the game. There you go, Doc.
Yep, they got to use that height up front in Samantha Stevens and Ofuebu and Alyssa Ryder and Ariana Parsley. They just try to contain the power of the Musselman Appleman, number 1 team in the state, 29-2-1, coming up against Spring Mills, who's 3-6 overall, 1-5 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. It's going to be a fun one, so stay tuned. After a 3-minute break, we'll be back for varsity action. Again, a 3-minute break to cover the national anthem. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV 10.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
In whatever you do, it's good to go the extra mile. But when we go to Antwerp, Belgium to buy a diamond for you, we go the extra 7,982 miles, the distance from here to Antwerp. And when you see your new diamond, the sparkle in your eyes will tell us it was worth it to go the distance. Hi, I'm Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. Dave and I are leaving soon on a diamond buying trip. And here's what going the extra 7,982 miles means for you. A more beautiful diamond than you thought possible for your money. Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world. We work directly with the men and women who buy and cut the diamonds. We personally inspect thousands of diamonds to pick only the best out of each parcel. And believe me, we reject hundreds of diamonds for each one we buy. Would you like to own a diamond that will blow by other diamonds in a flash? We're ready to go the extra 7,982 miles for you. See us at Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 south of 51 in Inwood.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk. See dealer for details.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 5 new providers who've joined our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center, Jefferson Medical Center, and University Healthcare Physicians. Dr. Leslie Golden, Orthopedics. Dr. Alexander Bitzer, Orthopedics. Dr. Courtney McQuillan, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Nurse practitioner Carolyn Gable, Nephrology, and Darwin Castillo, Emergency Medicine. WVU Medicine, growing to meet the needs of our community.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931. W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions.
Here at
Secure your home
the Cardinal Coliseum. We're getting ready for varsity action between the Musselman, Lady Appleman, and Spring Mills Lady Cardinals. Number 1 team in the state on TV 10 for you. And Musselman, Spring Mills right now in the EPAC is in 4th, trying to pull off a big win this evening at home and shock the entire state. Let's see if they can do so. Colin McLaughlin alongside me is Jim Klein. Our producer, Spencer Dupuis. The cameramen are Isaiah Horner and Donald Kinney, and back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. It is Musselman in the dark gray with green numerals and letters. As for Spring Mills, they are in the red, blue, and white uniforms. Liz Greenfield, the libero, will enter for Ann Ofuebu on the Spring Mill side. And we wait for the libero, Madigan Faircloth, for Musselman, who's in a, looks like lighter gray. Can't really tell if it's supposed to be a white. On the back line for number 5, Addison Walker. A little bit more of a crowd enters for varsity action. Spring Mills will serve first in set number 1. The serve over and to the back and out of play. Musselman Gets its first point of the evening off a service error for Spring Mills, and that's exactly that, or what not, Spring Mills wanted for the start.
No, and Faircloth chased the ball all the way to the end line, which is exactly what you want to do in a good defensive set.
Faircloth serve off the face of Greenfield. Let's hope she's okay as it smacked her almost in the nose. It's 2-0 Musselman.
Yeah, those front row players need to pinch. Didn't get much help there from Cora Shaw.
Faircloth at Greenfield again, and her pass goes over the scores table and out, so Musselman with a 3-0 lead early.
Yeah, Greenfield's got to move her feet. Those hands can't be moving left and right. Her hands were all the way left of her left knee, which makes it very difficult to provide a good platform for the pass.
Faircloth with another hard serve at Greenfield, and I think it almost hit her face again. Might have been the shoulder, but still counts as a pass as it's over to Musselman's side. The setup for the outside, Howard over the block to the ground. Another point for Musselman makes it 4-0.
The set was a little off the net. Howard made a great adjustment off block, so that's going to be a problem for Spring Mills. They're really committing hard to the block.
Faircloth gets the ace. It's 5-0 Musselman now as Greenfield dove for it and just missed.
Good start for Faircloth, and this is exactly what Musselman wanted, I think. Something to question the confidence of Spring Mills.
Afuebu passes it.
Oh,
Stevens is going to have to send a free ball to Howard. Set in the middle, and a miss hit by Walker gives Spring Mills its first point of the evening, making it 5-1. It'll be Cora Shaw on to serve. Shaw serve.
Oh my.
Another service error for Spring Mills. Two serves, two service errors. It's 6-1. It's exactly what we saw against Martinsburg. Hutzler will now serve for Musselman. And a service error for Musselman makes it 6-2. This time it'll be Alyssa Ryder back to serve. Ryder serve over the net and gets the ace. It's 6-3 now. Musselman still leads Spring Mills. So far we've had two service errors by Spring Mills and now an ace. Let's see if Ryder can do it again. Her serve goes out of play, so a service error, the third one of the evening for Spring Mills.
Yep.
Makes it 7-3 Musselman.
Both teams just a little bit flat. You mentioned timing in pregame. We saw it twice here with the setting on the Musselman side, and Spring Mills really hasn't done anything yet.
As Howard serves it to Ryder, set up for Afuebu, and she gets blocked. It goes out off Walker. Afuebu gets the kill off the tool, making it 7-4. Will now be another serve for Spring Mills. It's Isabel Bolyard entering to serve.
Yeah, Spring Mills just doesn't exude much energy. Like, that's a big kill for Afuebu.
Set to the outside, off the block. A point for Musselman. Caroline Shipley tools it off the outside hitter for Spring Mills. I believe that was Parsley. It's 8-4 now, Musselman. Walker will serve. Walker gets a service error, the second one for Musselman. It's 8-5. Afuebu will now serve for the Cardinals. Their serve, a hard one to the back line for Musselman. Set up to the outside.
Good cut.
Beautiful kill. Goes out. A point for Spring Mills. They're within 2 now.
Yeah, I was looking for touch. No touch, no kill, hitting air.
8-6 is your score. Musselman still leads. Afuebu serving for Spring Mills. And gets the ace as Howard can't dive close enough for it. Spring Mills within 1. Afuebu will serve it over. And Gracie Kane not able to get enough power. Goes up for the block, gets it. Back over to Greenfield. Set up to the outside. And it's blocked, rolls around the net, falls on Spring Mill's side. Shaw unable to get there. Point Musselman. It's 9-7. Wow, I've never seen the ball just roll that on the net.
Yeah, I thought Chrisman had a real good warm-up. Good swing there. The set pulled her in a little bit. She stayed with it off the block.
Serve to Greenfield. Hits it behind her. It looks like Spring Mills. Ofuebu will have to send a free ball over. Howard. Set by the outside.
No block.
Shipley, no block there. The point for Musselman.
Yeah, so
makes it 10-7.
So the middle comes on the hard approach, just hard enough to make the defense freeze. They run the shoot to the outside. You got to go man-to-man defense on that. There needs to be a block at every aspect of the game.
Ada McCoy with the point. Shipley back for Gracie Kane. She gets a kill. It's 10-8 now. It'll be Liz Greenfield to serve for the Cardinals when she gets the ball. Greenfield.
Very hard serve.
Gets it to Howard. Makes it 10-9. So we wait for Greenfield to serve it over to Howard, and she hits it right back. And it is Ryder. Over the blocker, Ryder. Ofuebu gets the save.
It's tight.
Outside to Shaw. Hit to Faircloth.
Another reach.
Outside. Back into the play. Ofuebu from the back line off the net. Beautiful save by Faircloth. Howard from the back line sends it to Ofuebu. Shaw. And it looks like we got two-touch. So point Musselman makes it 11-9.
Wow, that's costly for Spring Mills.
Serve over. Backline spike. Almost gets the point. Shaw over the block. A beautiful diving attempt by Shipley. Greenfield. Set up and hit over by Ryder. Set. And a nice, beautifully finessed kill by Sadie Wright makes it 12-9.
Yeah, timing just a little bit off. She still managed to get her full hand on the ball, was able to place it on the defense. Tip kill. And then a service error.
Service error for Musselman. Makes it 3 service errors by them as well as 3 by Spring Mills. It's 12-10. Musselman still leads, but Spring Mills to serve. Howard puts it into the air, gets the ace as she was still in the way of Faircloth, who had to run over to it. Spring Mills now within 1. It's 12-11. So after a rough start for the Cardinals, they're staying in set number 1 against Musselman.
Yeah, Howard's got to get that left hip around to be able to pass the ball to the center base.
Shipley. A kill over the block. Ofuebu can't get there. It's a point for Musselman by Caroline Shipley, makes it 13-11.
Yeah, Sadie Wright with the kill. The set pulled her in a little bit. She needed to adjust the approach, which she did. The off speed gets the kill.
13-11 is the score. Faircloth to Ofuebu, and she hits it over her head. 14-11, Musselman leads.
Ofuebu needed to jump to play the ball above her head. The ball has got to be out.
Another serve by Faircloth to Greenfield. And a miss hit by Stevens gives another point to Musselman, makes it 15-11, and we'll get a timeout called. Let's take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Welcome back to Spring Mills High School. We're inside the Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein. We're in set number 1 of varsity volleyball action. It's 15-11 Musselman. Faircloth for the Lady Applemen. Serves it over to Greenfield for Spring Mills. A kill from Ryder is saved. Howard tips it over the block and gets the point.
Howard takes the kill.
Takes a little bit off of that, but beautifully places it, makes it 16-11.
No kill for Ryder. It was a great swing, good dig. Howard gets a tip kill.
Faircloth to Shaw. Greenfield has to hit it back, and Ryder will send a deep free ball. Faircloth set up behind for McCoy. Off the block, Ofwebu was there. Stevens off the block to Faircloth. Beautiful pass to Howard, and she does the same thing she did last time. Just tips it over the block. It's 17-11 Musselman.
Yeah, the defense needs to understand the safest place on the court is going to be in the back pocket of your blockers. You got to be moving forward.
Faircloth gets the ace off Alyssa Ryder's head. It's 18-11. We've seen a lot of that for Spring Mills, unfortunately. Greenfield and now Ryder have been both hit in the head.
Got to see the ball at all times. It's just a little mental lapse.
Faircloth to Ofwebu. Puts it in the air for Shipley.
Tight, real tight.
And McCoy over the net gets the point for Musselman. The freshman makes it 19-11.
Great timing. She was all over it. There you go.
And another timeout will be called by Spring Mills, so another 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR and TV10.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation, a hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's 12 pieces of chicken, just $9.
Still in set number 1 at the Cardinal Coliseum. It's now 19-11. Musselman leads Spring Mills.
Yeah, that was a mini run, 4-0 run. They call time at 11:15 and now 11:19.
Faircloth serves it over the head of Greenfield and out. So service error for Musselman, their 4th of the evening. Makes it 19-12 Spring Mills.
Yeah, so frustrating to see the service error after a timeout. That's just a mental mistake.
Served by Shaw.
Good pass.
Pass over to McCoy. And a miss hit by Parsley makes it 20-12. Musselman 5 points away from victory in set number 1 against Spring Mills. The best 3 out of 5 have substitutes coming in. It'll be Isabella Hutzler on to serve for Musselman. Hutzler serves it to Ofwebu, and she mishits it. An ace for the Applemen makes it 21-12.
Yeah, I would say the pace of play lends itself to Spring Mills. It just seems to be methodical, slow, serving, not a whole lot of action, and I would think Musselman would want more from this.
Ofwebu to Faircloth at the net. Nobody there. Point for Spring Mills. It's 21-13 now.
Yeah, and that was very playable, very close to the setter's offensive base. Hutzler's really got to hustle. She's got to get there or call for help. She's got to make the decision a little bit more quickly.
Ryder with the serve over the net, and it's short.
It's trouble.
Ofwebu at the net.
Down.
I don't know if she got a tip, but it doesn't matter. It's still a point for Spring Mills, makes it 21-14.
Yeah, it's a setter drill we used to run all the time. Setter's got to go down to the floor to bring that ball out of the net. It's almost the opposite of what you'd expect. You've got to go low and bring it away from the net. Another service.
Ryder with a service error. Fourth for Spring Mills, makes it 22-14.
Makes the hole a lot deeper when you're giving the serve away at 21-14. Now 22-14.
It is now Hannah Howard, the server for Musselman. Her serve to Afuebu, who passes it. Stevens with the spike. Howard there for it.
Oh,
waiting,
my good
and
approach.
A beautiful kill over the block by Madigan. Excuse me, no, who is that up
Addison
there?
Walker.
That's Addison Walker. Thank you, Jim. It's now 23-14.
Yeah, Walker with a great approach. You could see that coming a mile away. Perfect pass, great set, good swing.
Howard serves it to Afuebu. Shaw calls it off, and Greenfield sends a free ball over. Faircloth. Set by Walker to the opposite side, and a kill in play. Caroline Shipley gets the point, makes it 24-14.
Yeah, Spring Mills, we called that a hoping play. All you could do is hope that it's out because the ball was perfectly executed pass set. And as you called it, Sports Dr. Colin with the kill.
Howard for set point for Musselman. Serves it off the net and an error. Makes it 24-15. The fifth service error of the evening in set number 1 for Musselman. But it also makes Spring Mills have to hit 9 straight to stay alive. Looks like we have an issue with the net.
The antenna. Looks like the antenna. It used to be connected through Velcro, and I believe that the AR's got that fixed.
Looks like it's all good now. Note, this is actually the second net that they have to put up. Earlier when they were setting everything up, the net on the far side of the camera, the top actually snapped when they were setting it up. So they had to get a new one, and an ace for Spring Mills makes it 24-16, so they need 8 more to tie and stay alive. And Bolliard trying to do so.
Yeah, Shipley got to move her feet there and serve receive.
Bolliard with another serve, this one back to
Good
Faircloth. Beautifully at the net, but a free ball on the near side of Afuebu.
Good coverage
back
by the
to
sophomore.
Shipley, and Afuebu over the block. Musselman scrambles, gets in position off the block, and Parsley sends it right back over.
Off block,
off
that's
the
it.
net,
That's good. That's Matt.
and it's another point. Musselman wins set number 1, 25-16. Let's take a 1-minute break, and then we'll be back for set number 2. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
The Cardinal Coliseum. Colin McLaughlin here. Alongside me is Jim Klein, heading to set number 2. As Musselman wins set 1, 25-16. Even though they won, though, Jim, they still had 5 service errors to Spring Mills, 4 service errors.
It just didn't feel like the pace of a typical Musselman match. I think that in some respects, Spring Mills did what they wanted to do. You didn't get to see a whole lot of the high-flying Musselman offense. The problem is that Spring Mills didn't really put it to Musselman when they had the chance to do that. Yes, the service errors were similar on both sides, but many of the points that came from Spring Mills resulted in whether or not it's not moving their feet, transition errors, communication, and I'm certain that Coach Martz probably has a little bit of frustration, even though the score was 25-16 after the first set. On the other hand, Coach Wolf, she should be focusing on the positives. They did have some blocks. They did have the opportunity. And at one point they were challenging. There was a missed serve that came at the worst possible time when Spring Mills could have tied the score at 10 apiece.
Yeah, they had the opportunity at 10 apiece as well as when it was 12-11. Now let's get started for set number 2. It'll be Musselman to serve first. And back to serve is number 14, Caroline Shipley, to start things off. Shipley serve to Ofwebu. Parsley tries to sneak it over, and Howard was ready for it. Greenfield sends it right back to Musselman.
They go right again. They run it same play again, and Ryder's not there.
Sadie Wright gets the point for Musselman to make it 1-0.
You've got to stay home at your defensive base. You've got to watch the ball. Ryder can't try to guess. She's got to stay on the middle because we know that Musselman runs it quick.
And this serve, a line drive right by Greenfield, ties it up at 1 apiece. So another service error for Musselman. It'll be Ariana Parsley to serve for Spring Mills. And she has a service error to give Musselman the lead at 2-1.
That's not the kind of seasoning you want on your steak. A little less parsley and a little bit more ball in play.
You and your puns. Haven't heard one in a while. And a service error by Faircloth. So we're tied up at 2 apiece now. Sloppy start to set number 2. It's Cora Shaw now to serve for Spring Mills. And that one's an absolute bullet. It gives Spring Mills the 3-2 lead. An ace off the hands of Walker.
Yeah, but and Spring Mills has been able to find that short spot on the near side and just not moving their feet.
Shaw with another serve. Hits this one over and out. So we're tied up at 3 apiece now.
And 2 service errors apiece if my math is correct.
It is. It'll be Hutzler to serve for Musselman.
How'd you like to be the sophomore Dunnigan on a team like this? You're a sophomore, and in your freshman season you started, and your team went 25-1 and won a title.
Howard with the diving save. Hutzler for Shipley. She gets the point. Gives Musselman a 4-3 lead.
Great 10-line attack. Love to see that. Getting offense out of what most teams would consider a free ball. That's the difference between state champion Musselman Appleman and someone who is not.
And a service error by Hutzler makes it 4-4.
Yeah, the way
That's
the coach,
the third service error in set number 2 for Musselman.
Yeah, if we had a Martz camera, his head was shaking. We could not do a zoom in on that.
It's Alyssa Ryder to serve for Spring Mills. And an ace. It's 5-4 now, Spring Mills. Right in front of Caroline Shipley. They just find the middle of the court and place it perfectly. We saw that a couple times in the JV match as well. And something that Spring Mills was focusing on was serving throughout the week after it was about 20 or more serves as it's to Shipley now. Howard tips it over the block of Fuebu. Keeps it alive.
A free ball, and it's way too shallow. No time for the defense to set up. If you're going to send a shallow free ball, you might as well sit back and wait for it to get rammed down your throat. You got to send the ball deep in those situations because Spring Mills didn't have any time to transition to defense.
Scores 5-5 now. It'll be Hannah Howard to serve. Howard serve. Off the net, Ofwebu waited for it. Ofwebu at the net.
That's
met
roofed.
closely by Walker. Shaw
Great
from the
swing.
10 line to Howard. Walker. Greenfield for Spring Mills to Ofwebu. Off the net, gets the point. Spring Mills back in the lead at 6-5.
Yeah, and see, that's where I would have kept Walker on the net. You know, if Webu he's a big swinger, why not keep Walker on the net and let her try to block, clean up some of that stuff?
Bolyard to serve. And Faircloth and Shipley, it looks like, had some miscommunication. It's 7-5 Spring Mills now. Can they get some energy inside the Cardinal Coliseum to feed off of and keep control of set number 2 against the number 1 Musselman Lady Appleman?
Yeah, the pace just lends itself to Spring Mills.
And right as I say that, a service error? No. A rotation error gets the point for Spring Mills, and Musselman's coach Sean Mart's going to talk with the officials on that one and
21 left
get some
too soon.
Clarification.
Chrisman left too soon. That's what she's saying. There was an overlap with 21.
So it's 8-5 Spring Mills. Still some confusion for Musselman. Walker and Chrisman figures it out. The serve, the Faircloth. And it's blocked.
Double block. Yep.
Kane and Ofuebu makes it 9-5 Spring Mills.
See, and that's one of those situations where the offense also set themselves up because Ofuebu and the middle were both on top of each other, so the back set right behind the setter meant that the block didn't need to move.
Bolyard to Howard. Sent to the opposite side and goes off Shaw. That ends Spring Mills' run. Point Musselman. It's 9-6.
Yeah, communication.
Spring Mills still leads.
Yeah, Bolyard just kind of both Spring Mills players. Bolyard reaching for the ball. Got to move your feet.
Walker enters the game in set number 2 and serves to Fuebu. It was short.
It's a free ball.
She's going to have to send a free ball to the middle. Howard steps forward. Set to the outside for Shipley.
No block.
Greenfield keeps it alive, and a deep free ball to Howard. Another
Again.
kill, no block. It's in. Point Musselman. It's now 9-7. The point hit perfectly by Sadie Wright.
Yeah, Kane was a little bit late on the block. They've got him. Spring Mills has got to match up. They've got to match up with their defensive player, whoever their offensive player is across for them. They've got to find that player, and that's where they have to set up.
Walker for Musselman serves it over to Shaw. It's at the net. And jumping up and just tipping it right down is Wright. It's 9-8.
Yeah, Sadie Wright, she deposited the overpass into the point column for Appleman.
1 point lead for Spring Mills. Walker to serve for Musselman to Greenfield. Passed up into the air, and it's going to be sent by Kane to Howard. Set by Fox, and it's blocked by Gracie Kane, making it 10-8.
Like hitting in a phone booth.
That's what we said Spring Mills needs to do, is use its height to its advantage to give Musselman some trouble.
Kane was able-bodied with that block.
And an ace by Ofuebu makes it 11-8 Spring Mills.
This is a very good play for Spring Mills.
This is completely different energy and vibe that we saw from set 1.
It's right at the pace that Spring Mills wants.
Ofuebu, a hard serve to the back. It's going towards the net, and a free ball sent by Faircloth.
They've got to use this.
Parsley to Kane, and it's blocked. 11-9's the score now.
Spring Mills has got to develop short-term memory immediately. They've got to move past that. If they concentrate right now, I would be barking, focusing on the pass, Who wants this? Move your feet, all of the things to get a good pass.
Dunnigan enters and serves for Musselman. Parsley for Fuebu from the back. Right at Howard, and she mishits it. It's a point Spring Mills. It's 12-9.
Almost like Howard expected that to be harder than what it was. Fuebu with good placement, good off-speed swing.
Liz Greenfield will serve now for Spring Mills, who leads by 3 in set number 2. Greenfield, the Faircloth. Shipley sets it with the spike and kill.
Yeah, and Parsley, immediately she taps herself, acknowledging to the team that she missed the block opportunity, and you just can't have that against a Musselman. Like, especially since Coach Wolf said that's what they focused on in practice.
Again, that was the freshman Ada McCoy. Serve by Shipley, and a block on the front line makes it 12-11. McCoy and Sadie Wright, both there waiting for Ryder's spike.
Man, you're Musselman. You don't rebuild. You reload. Sophomores and freshmen.
Shipley serves it. Ofwebu with the kill. It's out, and we're tied up at 12.
But it was still a great swing. I mean, yes, the ball was wide. She failed to hit it in. But my goodness, what good contact. Great swing, straight down. She just was off center, the vertical axis of the ball, which forced it right to left.
Shipley with another serve to Ofwebu.
Perfect pass.
Parsley sets it for Ryder. Shipley dives, Faircloth. For McCoy, off the block. Musselman takes the lead. It's 13-12.
Wow.
Freshman gives Musselman the lead. Shipley
Another good
to
serve.
Ofwebu. Parsley and a free ball by Ofwebu to Faircloth. Set up and another kill. This time by Sadie Wright makes it 14-12.
The right stuff on that spot. Man, that's another point for the Applemen.
It's 5 straight for Musselman. So we wait for the game ball to be recovered from the bleachers. So some downtime for everybody to catch their breath. Let's see which side it'll help out. Maybe it stops the rhythm of Shipley.
Yep, Sam Stevens with the assist there, getting the game ball. But here we go.
Musselman leads by 2. Shipley to Ofwebu. Set by Parsley behind her for Shaw. Shaw spike goes over and out. It's 15-12. 6 straight points now. And no timeouts called by either side.
I was just about to say that. Sports doctor Colin McCall making his diagnosis. Yes, the prognosis was it's time for a timeout.
And an ace, 16-12. Shipley put it right on the far line in front of Spring Mill's bench.
Is that a 7-point run with no timeout?
Yes.
My goodness. What's your prognosis for set 2?
Call a timeout. Shipley, this time, tried to place it in the same spot, but missed it by a few feet. That ends the streak for Musselman, gives the point to Spring Mills, makes it 16-13.
Yeah, but in a game of runs, when you are up against the state champion by 3, yeah, you know, man, I just wouldn't want to give up more than 3 or 4 points at a time.
And that was 7 straight, and now Parsley serves it to the Musselman Appleman. Right, off the block of Ofwebu. Doesn't get there. It's another point for the Applemen. 17-13 now.
Yeah, got to be on your toes. Got to have that little extra step to be able to move.
Faircloth with the serve to Greenfield. Ofwebu.
Oh, and that's an out. Yeah.
And Parsley dove for it when Ofwebu hit it, so she was still underneath where the ball was landing, and her teammates didn't want to run into her and just let it drop. 18-13 is the score. A timeout called by Spring Mills. Let's take a 30-second break with them. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
A reputation for caring, a legacy of service. At Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, it's been our story since 1880. A family-owned business, we support the needs and wishes of families. We offer traditional services, as well as many options for cremation, customized remembrances, and pre-planning. Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations retains its family atmosphere and stays true to its roots. Contact us for advanced planning, or at your time of loss. We're here when you need us.
Cardinal Coliseum, even though it's a home match for Spring Mills. A lot more green in the stands here for the Musselman Applemen. A lot of parents, family, and friends making the trip down Route 11. 18-13 is the score in set number 2. It is Faircloth back to serve.
Didn't get a score update, but just got a match update. JV and freshman Hedgesville Volleyball have swept Martinsburg.
Faircloth. Parsley back to Shaw, and she's going to send it deep for Faircloth. And Faircloth sets it for Shipley. Shipley over for Howard. Ofwebu for Spring Mills. The Faircloth was able to save it.
Oh, no, angle. Good
hard
save.
Angle by Weatherholtz kept it in play. Ofwebu with another spike. This one off the net. Point Musselman. It's 19-13. Complete shift of momentum in set number 2. Spring Mills had a 3-point lead. They now trail, and an ace makes it a 7-point lead for Musselman. Now it's 20-13. Since Spring Mills led 12-9, it's been an 11-1 run for the number 1 team in the state, being Musselman. And looks like we're going to have another timeout called by Spring Mills, so let's take another 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Back at the Cardinal Coliseum, Spring Mills just used its second and final timeout of set number 2, and we are scratching our heads on the timing of the timeouts that were used. Faircloth serve. Over and out, so that timeout worked. It's now 20-14. What do we know, Jim? We were saying during the break, you were up 12-9, allowed 7 straight, didn't call a timeout, but now you call a timeout, but it worked.
I'm still perplexed. I mean, you had a chance to win at 12-9. At
14-20, makes it 20-15.
You still have a chance to win the set. You just built the odds much more difficult. I mean, then again, you know, who would have expected that the Ravens come back and win in overtime last night? But when you've got Legatron on the team, Tuckman, you know that anything can happen.
Korshaw with the serve off the net. And we saw it early in set number 2. I haven't seen it for a while. It's a service error.
Yeah, and it's just the most inopportune time. I only have 3 service errors for Spring Mills. But, you know, at 15-20, 3 apiece.
Yep, 3 apiece
I got 4
in set
for
number
Musselman.
2.
I have 4 for Musselman. 5, maybe 5. No one knows.
I don't know. Maybe I missed one early. I have 9 in total, and I know for a fact that they had 5 in the first set.
Yeah,
they had 5. Spring Mills had 4.
I would trust
set number 1.
I had 5 for Spring Mills, 4 for Musselman. It doesn't matter. You're always right.
I don't know. It's 21-16. Fox over for Hammer Howard, and waiting for it with Spring Mills.
Gotta watch those hands.
4 people up front. The defense, and a weird angle for Howard.
Yeah,
Stevens off the block of Howard gets the point for the Cardinals. It's 21-17 now. It'll be Ryder back to serve. Ryder serve. An error makes it 22-17. We wait for the server for Musselman, Hannah Howard, to get the ball over near the stands and go back to her spot to serve. Musselman needs 3 more points to win set number 2. They lead by 5 against Spring Mills. We wait for Stevens to get back in position. It looked like she was talking to somebody in the stands.
The head official told him they can't stand in front of the bleachers.
Howard to Fuebu. Passes it for Parsley. Parsley sets it up for Kane. Saved by Howard to the opposite side. And it's Shipley getting the point for Musselman, makes it 23-17. Two more points needed for Musselman in set number 2. They have control. Momentum makes it look like they're going to keep it. Howard serve. Goes over and out. Announcer's jinx makes it 23-18.
Just keep waiting for that dynamic play that is going to separate these two teams, but it's just that pace just lends itself to Spring Mills.
Bolliard, beautiful serve, gets the ace, makes it 23-19. That one had so much power on the serve. It sounded like a brick when it hit the court.
Absolutely, yeah. the bottom dropped out of it, like it hit a cold air pocket.
Bulliard with another one. This time took a little bit off of it. Goes to Howard. It's towards the net. And a free ball sent by Faircloth. Parsley for Fuebu. Over the block and down. And
I thought I saw touch. No call. Everybody's asking for touch.
No touch, so the point goes to Musselman. It's 24-19. Both teams were celebrating, thinking that the point was theirs.
Everyone in
so
Spring
it's
Mills
set
side.
point now, and Miller serves it over and out. So that keeps Spring Mills alive in set number 2. They need 4 straight points to tie it up and set up a win by 2. Possibility of Fuebu with the serve to Howard. Set by Fox, and we get a lift called. Spring Mills gets the point. It's 24-21 now. Musselman still has 2 timeouts. Do you call one here?
I do not. I believe that Musselman feels like they can win from any point in this set.
Fuebu to Howard. Fox off the block, gets the point. It's 25-21. Musselman wins set number 2. They now lead 2-0 and can sweep the night in set number 3. We'll head there after a 2-minute break. Again, a 2-minute break back at the studio. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
You sure you don't want to change that to 3?
Won't be good. He's like, are you sure you don't want to change it?
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
I have somewhat of an aggressive personality. People will tell you that it's not always a good thing. I wanted to have a clothing line that represented me and what I am, but also somebody else. When I came up with aggressive, it stands for actively giving, righteously executing, and sincerely vigorous. Anybody can do that. You know, from a small child doing a good deed or holding the door for someone, or to having somebody pump gas for somebody else. Anybody can do that. Aggressive Clothing is a company that I started to try to be able to give back to local vets, first responders, and law enforcement. My grandfather and 7 other brothers of his were all in the Navy. They were in Pearl Harbor, and this was my way to be able to give back, whether it be doing charitable donations or networking, helping them get jobs, anything I can do to help.
Mark your calendar and plan to join us for the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival coronation at the Airborne Event Center in Martinsburg, 6 p.m. Friday, October 15th. You're invited to this special opening ceremony to witness the crowning of Queen Pomona the 42nd. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on all that's happening at this year's festival. For a complete schedule of events, go to msahf.com.
Back at the studio, it's Nick Verzolini. Musselman leads 2-0 after a 25-21 victory in set 2. We're underway in set number 3 as Parsley serves for Spring Mills. Howard over the block to Shaw. Parsley sets it behind her for Stevens, through the block and towards us, and I was ready for it, but it went off the steps. Spring Mills makes it 1-0. I was ready.
Yeah, and that's what we said
in
pregame.
Were you ready?
I was not. I was admiring Stevens with the kill through the block, which is what we said in pregame needs to be done. Stevens, the big offhand, on-hand for her. She needs to put that ball away.
Parsley with a floating serve to the back line. Howard has to send a free ball to Parsley.
Coach Marsh not happy with that.
Greenfield.
Off block.
Off the block. Shaw makes it 2-0 Spring Mills.
Yeah, Howard definitely showed some frustration on her face there. As a hitter, she needs to delay the approach, adjust. Even if the set's bad, can't send a free ball on that. That was a hittable ball.
Parsley With another serve, and that one goes over and out. You could tell the entire time that it had the hang to go all the way. It's 2-1 now.
And I feel like Musselman just believes that they can win this match at any point in time. When they were down 9-12, when Spring Mills went on its mini run.
Faircloth serves it to Fuebu, and she hits it over the net on the wrong side, so we're tied up at 2 apiece. Didn't really move her feet, just had him set and kind of just tried to lean forward for it. Greenfield dives and gets that one. Parsley blocked off Ryder. Beautiful block on the front. I can't tell if that was McCoy or Walker that got that one because I was looking more at the attacking side. It's 3-2 Musselman. Make it 3-3. Luck helps a little bit. Greenfield knew it as well as she had to dive and just send it back, and Faircloth wasn't ready for it to come right back to her off a serve.
In transition, first pass, overpass, and Coach Martz with a little head shake there, like, my goodness.
Got to get in position quickly. It's 3-3.
Great
and
serve.
A beautiful serve by Cora Shaw makes it 4-3 Spring Mills. Should have been keeping count of how many aces Spring Mills has had as well instead of just service errors, since that was the issue last time.
I might be willing to bet there are more aces than kills.
I think you might be correct. Shaw, another serve, and gets the service error. Makes it 4 apiece now in set number 3. Back the serve now will be Isabella Hutzler. Hutzler serve to Fuebu. Set. Over the net. Howard recovers for Musselman. Howard with a spike over the block and in. Point. Musselman makes it 5-4. Hutzler serves it to Fuebu, who sets it. Parsley back to Fuebu. Over and through the block. Point Spring Mills tied up at 5 apiece.
And again, that's what you got to do. I mean, everyone knows that Fuebu is your big hitter, but when you've got Stevens in the front row at the same time, that's your opportunity to, to throw Musselman's defense off.
Ryder serves. Faircloth. Hutzler
slow.
Sets it,
never
and
went.
It's too low for Walker.
Yeah. Ball was never above the net.
Walker tells Hutzler it needed to be higher. Spring Mills lead 6-5 now.
I like Hutzler's shoes, though. She got a little bling on the back of those things. Very classy.
Ryder serve to the back,
it's gotta be
and
out.
It's at Shipley. Point Cardinals at 7-5.
Heels on the three-point line. You can't be reaching above your head to play the ball.
And that's exactly what Musselman's coach, Sean March, just told Shipley. Ryder with the serve. Spring Mills leads by 2, and it's a service error. Makes it 7-6.
And it's like a bailout. I mean, it's just so debilitating to the Spring Mills offense.
It'll be Hannah Howard to serve for Musselman. To Fuebu with a bump pass for Parsley. Back to Fuebu.
There's the block.
In between Howard and Faircloth. It's 8-6 now. Fuebu picking up where she left off against Martinsburg. Still getting those beautiful kills. Hard ones placed perfectly.
But there was no block. I don't understand. No one made any attempt to block. There's either a rotation error or I don't know what they were expecting.
Weatherholt's off the block of Fuebu. Parsley sets it behind her for Kane. Howard. And a free ball by Faircloth. Parsley for Fuebu again over the block. Faircloth tried to save it, couldn't get there. Fuebu gives a 9-6 lead to Spring Mills. Bolliard serving for the Cardinals, who lead by 3. Howard thought it went out. It's in. It's 10-6 now, Spring Mills. They lead by 4 in set number 3.
Yeah, so now if I was Coach Martz in the second set, that close to set point, wouldn't have called timeout. Here, maybe I would, because there have been some communication blocking.
Ball yard serve to Faircloth. Hutzler sets it for Shipley.
And there's
Parsley sets it for Fwebu. Off the block, Howard was there. Hutzler for Shipley again. She gets the kill as Shaw was unable to control her pass. Went behind her. It's 10-7 now. Musselman serving down by 3.
Yeah, good restraint there by Coach Martz. I might have jumped the gun out of frustration, and he showed the patience and perseverance for his team.
Walker with a service error makes it 11-7 now. Have it at 12-11 in service errors. Musselman is the one with 12. So Fwebu to serve. And it's short. Howard, Hutzler, Weather holds to Fwebu on Spring Mill's side. Parsley for Gracie Kane. Miss hits it off the net. It rolls down. Weatherholt tried to recover it for the Applemen. It's 12-7. Spring Mills leads by 5.
Yeah, Kane tries to run the slide, coming off 1 foot behind the setter, and gets the friendly roll on the Spring Mills net.
Fwebu to Howard. Had to dive for it as it went to the back line. Through the block. Shipley gets the kill. It's 12-8.
Yeah, Shipley's been on tonight. There's no question about it. And Hutzler's got her number. Hutzler is delivering the ball to Shipley exactly like she wants.
Back to serve now is Emma Kurnos. Kurnos' serve, a short one of Fwebu. The Parsley for Shaw. Right back to Gracie Kane. Kurnos, Shipley, and Kane at the net. And it is Shipley getting the point for Musselman to make it 12-9.
Yeah, Shipley gets credit for a kill there, playing what would have been an overpass. She redirects in 2. Great heads-up play.
Kurnos to Greenfield.
Good
Parsley
pass by
to
Greenfield.
Gracie Kane. Howard, Faircloth for McCoy.
Oh, good timing.
Fwebu, and Ada McCoy makes it 12-10. Musselman only trails by 2 now.
Yeah, that's one of our sponsors, the Marius Group. Look at that. Ada McCoy with great timing. Static approach for the kill.
Kurnos to Fwebu. And it goes over the net by Parsley. Howard hits it off the net. Ada McCoy couldn't get there. Gracie Kane was waiting to block it. It's 13-10. Liz Greenfield will now serve for Spring Mills.
Gotta have it. Gotta have this serve.
Greenfield to Howard. Faircloth calls off her teammates and bumps it up for McCoy, and she gets another point. It's 13-11.
I am just in shock at the play of the freshmen and sophomores in this match tonight. I thought that Kaylee Christman's had a good match. I thought that McCoy is playing well.
Shipley to Fwebu, over towards the scores table. Ryder tries to save it, can't do so. Musselman now has 12. Spring Mills has 13. And it's Shipley still serving for the Applemen, trying to tie it up in set number 3. Shipley overserves it. It's a point for Spring Mills. Makes it 14-12.
So this is where Spring Mills has the opportunity to pull away. Musselman is still within strikeable distance. Spring Mills has got to continue to serve.
Parsley, serve, goes to Kurnos. Faircloth, behind her for Howard. Over the block to Parsley. Greenfield, back for Fwebu to Faircloth. Shipley for McCoy. Fwebu. Parsley for Stevens.
Stevens was early.
Shipley to Howard.
Got to reach.
At the net.
That's tough.
Off the block. Musselman gets the point. Addie Miller makes it 14-13. Spring Mills still leads, but it'll be Faircloth and libero for Musselman to serve.
Yeah, I just haven't seen that dynamic swing from Howard that you're kind of always waiting. Like, when's it going to happen? When's she going to unleash the beast?
And an ace for Faircloth ties it up at 14 as Fwebu had to dive for it and couldn't get good positioning. So Faircloth will serve again for Musselman. Goes to Shaw. Hits it right back to Howard. And there it is. Dropping the hammer is Hannah Howard. Musselman now leads 15-14.
I told you, like you knew that it was going to come eventually, and that's the athletic prowess, and that's why she had earned the moniker the Hammer.
Faircloth, Parsley, a free ball sent by Shaw. Back to McCoy, and she gets another point at 16-14.
Are we going to call McCoy the Mangler? Hannah the Hammer Howard? Ada the Mangler McCoy? I mean, it was a dominant kill.
Might have to talk with Phil about that.
Yeah,
one.
we should.
Faircloth to Fuebo. Stevens. The free ball sent again by Shaw. Shipley sets it for Howard. It's blocked
Great
by
dig.
Stevens.
Faircloth.
Howard again. Over the block at Greenfield. The Hammer lost the first battle but won the war. It's 17-14 and a timeout called by Spring Mills.
Or was that Kurnos with the dig?
Let's take a 30-second break first. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Alongside me is Jim Klein. We're in set number 3. Musselman has control, 17-14 over Spring Mills. Musselman needs 8 more points to get the win and stay undefeated in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Faircloth serve to Greenfield.
Oh, no.
And her pass goes awry, making it 18-14.
Yeah, what made the point before timeout so spectacular was the dig off the Howard swing. I mean, Kurnos was in her back pocket. Great save.
Parsley, Faircloth, Shipley for Walker. Goes out, and that's going to end Musselman's run, making it 18-15. Spring Mills trails by 3. It'll be Cora Shaw to serve.
I'd be serving to the left back. I'd be serving at the 5.
Shaw serve.
Opposite side.
Goes to Walker. Coming for it is Shipley. Back to Walker. Over the block to Fuebo. Parsley back for Fuebo, and she just tips it over the block of Musselman. Howard.
Never went.
Off the net. Point Spring Mills. It's 18-16.
Yeah, and I meant the scoring opportunity, the service is not to the 5 side. It's not angle. It's line. Look at the setter stack here on the far side of the court, on the bench side, right in front of Coach Martz.
Shaw with the serve off the net. Point Musselman. It's 19-16. Another service error. That's 12 for Spring Mills now.
Yeah, and I think that Spring Mills has played better than they did against Martinsburg. But in this case, it's the timing of the mistakes.
Serve. Miss hit by Hutzler. It's 19-17 now. So that's the 14th I have for Musselman in service errors. Back to serve now is Alyssa Ryder for Spring Mills. Trying to start a comeback in set number 3 to stay alive.
Yeah, and Ryder served well.
Ryder serve to Howard. Hutzler back to Howard. Right at Parsley.
Oh, free ball as a result of down ball error.
Down ball error by Ryder makes it 20-17 Musselman. It'll be Howard to serve. Howard waits. Here comes the serve over the net to Fuebo. Fuebo with a spike. And a point goes to Spring Mills, makes it 20-18. Did not see the official call.
Yeah, she caught her on Walker. So it must have been when she turned to leave the net.
Musselman leads by 2. Bolliard will serve for Spring Mills. Our serve goes
tight.
to Shipley. At the net is Hutzler and Walker.
Called in.
Gets it in play, makes it 21-18. 4 more points needed for Musselman to get the victory. It'll be Addison Walker, the junior, back to serve. Walker serve to
Great
Fuebu.
pass.
Parsley sets it behind her for Fuebu, and it's blocked.
It's roofed out of
But it goes
bounds.
out. Shipley was there for it, but the point goes to Spring Mills, makes it 21-19.
Yeah, that's like when you're going up for the layup and you're expecting contact and it's not there and you biff the layup. She's expecting a Fuebu to push on the ball and doesn't have. She pushes it out.
Fuebu serves to Howard, and it goes off the block of Kane and way out. So it's a point for Musselman, makes it 22-19.
But it was a great swing by Shipley. Great swing powering into the block.
I have a timeout called. Let's take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
The Honda Civic and the Accord are uniquely stylish in their own way. But do you know what they have in common? Reliability and comfort? Sure. Available turbocharged engines? Of course. But also, the driver, having fun for no reason, except for the thrill of driving a Honda. Kelley Blue Book's 2021 Best Value Brand.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Based on 2021 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Welcome back to Spring Mills High School inside the Cardinal Coliseum. Score in set number 3, Musselman 22, Spring Mills 19. Musselman leads 2-0 over Spring Mills, trying to get the sweep of the evening. Served by Kurnos to Greenfield at the net, set by Parsley, and it's going to be hit by Shaw off the hands of Musselman, and out of play. It's 22-20 now. So it'll be Greenfield to serve for Spring Mills, and Ryder will enter as well for Keene. Liz Greenfield has the ball in hand and serving it to Musselman. Kurnos to Shipley for McCoy. Fuebu off the net. Howard gets it. And a whistle point for Spring Mills makes it 22-21. Greenfield trying to tie things up in set number 3. Our serve goes to Kurnos. Shipley sets it back into Howard. It goes to Fuebu. Set by Parsley to the outside for Shaw. Howard puts it in the middle for offense. Shipley gets it over to McCoy, and she gets another point for Musselman. It's 23-21.
So the ball is behind the plane of your body. We call that, it's a reach hit. And the idea is you have to reach way up high to be able to project the ball down. Also in a tight set, you call it a reach. And that was an outstanding adjustment by the freshman.
Shipley serves it to
Shank
Fuebu, and
pass.
she completely mishits it into the bench. It's game point now for Musselman. It's 24-21.
Yeah, it's match point. Set and match point.
Shipley looking to put it away for the Applemen. Doesn't do it. Service error makes it 24-22. The 15th serving error of the evening I have for Musselman. So it all goes into the hands of Ariana Parsley for Spring Mills. One mistake and it's over. Her serve to Faircloth. Shipley for Howard over the block, and it drops in perfectly. Musselman wins 25-22 in set number 3. They also win the match 3-0 over Spring Mills. Musselman now, its 30th win of the year, makes it 32-1, 7-0 in the EPAC. Spring Mills falls to 3-7 overall, 1-6 in the EPAC. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the post-game show. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on WRNR TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The right attorney can make all the difference in the outcome of your case.
I called Sutton and Janelle, the best lawyers you could ask for.
Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. 70 years of collective legal experience. Family law, criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, and mediation.
Sutton and Janelle got the most favorable outcome I could have expected.
Visit Sutton and Janelle's new historic location, 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Online at suttonandjanelle.com. Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law. They value your rights and are passionate about your success.
Conveniently located at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg, Sunset Car Wash's staff specializes in keeping your car clean. From our famous 3-minute cloth wash to our touchless automatic and 6 self-serve bays. We offer whatever preference you have for your car wash needs. If your vehicle could talk, it would say, "Take me to Sunset Car Wash." At Sunset Car Wash at 440 Williamsport Pike in Martinsburg. Locally owned and operated.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
Cardinal Coliseum. Musselman victorious again on the year. They improved to 32-1 on the season, 7-0 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. To recap it, they won set number 1 over Spring Mills, 25-16. Set number 2, 25-21. Set number 3, 25-22. So Spring Mills, point-wise, definitely improved, but was just unable to get a win in any set. So Musselman survives. And it was still a good match. I mean, there were definitely some positives for Spring Mills, Jim, to improve on for the end of the season heading to the playoffs.
Yeah, the point differentials were 9-4-3. So on one hand, if you're Spring Mills, you're going to look at this like, hey, we went toe-to-toe with the state champion, Musselman Appleman. We lost the first set 25-16, but we only lost the second set 25-21, and the third set 25-22, even better. The speed of play worked in Spring Mills' favor. You could see there were points where Musselman looked frustrated. They looked out at their timing seemed off. And we really didn't see that dynamic giant Hannah the Hammer Howard with that monstrous kill until the third set. It just seemed like some of the timing was off, and I think that may have been disrupted not only from Spring Mills' blocking, but as a result of the way that Spring Mills kind of controlled the pace of play.
Yeah, for Spring Mills, they're now 3-7 overall, 1-6 in the EPAC. Their next match is Tuesday, October 19th at Williamsport. So an out-of-state opponent to kind of just ease up, refocus before you got to get back to some final EPAC matches and prepare for the playoffs. As for Musselman, their next matches are a tournament there in Hilton Head, South Carolina, starting on Friday. Our upcoming broadcasts on Friday, we got some football for you at Coburn Field as the Spring Mills Cardinals travel to the undefeated Martinsburg Bulldogs. It'll be Spencer Dupuis and Matt Miller on the call for that one, with pregame at 6 o'clock and the kickoff scheduled for 7. It should be a fun one. Martinsburg trying to stay undefeated so that we can have an undefeated match for the EPAC regular season title. As Jefferson 7-0, they have a bye week, so Martinsburg will try to improve to 8-0. And it should be a fun one when those two teams play, but first Martinsburg has to focus on the Cardinals, of course.
Yeah, and Matt Miller does such a great job calling these games. He's been doing it for a long time. Spencer, the newbie, in that dynamic duo, he also does a great job. It was good hearing Nick Verzolini last week going on that long road trip, coming back to home. Is the heat going to play a part of that, Sports Doctor Colin McLaughlin? It's going to be a warm one on Friday.
Yeah, definitely a very hot October evening, something that both teams are going to have to adjust to. Let's now look at Saturday's game as well. The Shepherd Rams, after a humongous dominant win, 75-21 against Lock Haven, now go to Millersville for another, hopefully, Shepherd Ram win. I believe that one has the kickoff scheduled for 2 p.m. with a pregame at 1:30. It'll be Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith on the call for that one right here on TV10. So don't miss those broadcasts for all you football fans. But before we head out, let's sign off again. Musselman wins 3-0 over Spring Mills. For Isaiah Horner, Donald Kinney, Nick Verzolini, and Spencer Dupuis, and Jim Klein, I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off from the Cardinal Coliseum. Until Friday, have a good night, everyone.
That concludes our coverage of West Virginia high school volleyball featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Tonight's coverage was brought to you by WVU Medicine East, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center, Hagerstown Ford, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations Robert Fields and Sons, Parsons Ford, Panhandle Dumpsters, and Smallwood and Small Insurance. Keep it tuned to TV10 for all your local high school sports coverage from around the Eastern Panhandle. All rights reserved.